10 shocking things your body does without you knowing. You've lived your entire life inside this body. You see through its eyes, move with its muscles, feel with its skin. And because of that, it feels like you fully understand how it works. You trust your senses, trust your thoughts, and believe you're in control of what your body does. But here's the truth. Your body is far stranger than it seems. Right now, at this very moment, things are happening inside you that you're completely unaware of. And some of them completely change what you think you know about yourself. Fact 1, you're always living in the past. It feels like you experience the world in real time. You see movement, hear sounds, react instantly. But there's actually a delay between what happens and when you become aware of it. Light has to reach your eyes, sound has to reach your ears, signals travel to your brain, and then your brain processes everything and turns it into a clear picture. Even if this delay is just a fraction of a second, it still exists. By the time you see something happen, it has already happened. Your brain is constantly catching up to reality. It's like watching a live stream that's slightly behind. And the strangest part? You never notice it. For you, that delayed version is the present. But in reality, you're always living just a little bit in the past. Fact 2. You're not just one organism. You probably think of yourself as one body, one being. But in reality, you're much more than that. Inside you live trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi. They're on your skin, in your mouth, and especially in your gut. And they're not just passive passengers. They help digest your food, produce vitamins, and regulate your immune system. Some research even suggests they can influence your mood, your cravings, and how you feel day to day. In fact, the number of microbial cells in your body is roughly comparable to the number of your own human cells. So you're not just one organism, you're an entire living ecosystem. Fact 3. You're mostly empty space. Your body feels solid. Everything around you feels solid. But at the atomic level, reality looks completely different. An atom is mostly empty space, with a tiny nucleus in the center and electrons far away from it. That means you, and everything around you, are almost entirely empty space. So, why does everything feel solid? Because particles repel each other at extremely small distances, creating the sensation of touch and solidity. But if all that empty space were removed, and matter were compressed, the result would be shocking. All of humanity could fit into something the size of a sugar cube. You feel solid, but in reality, you're mostly emptiness, structured in a very specific way. Fact 4. Your stomach constantly rebuilds itself. Every time you eat, your stomach goes to work using powerful acid to break down food. This acid is strong enough to damage your own tissues. So, how does your body protect itself? It creates a protective slizzy layer, mucus lining, that shields the stomach walls. But here's the catch. This layer doesn't last. It constantly gets worn down by the acid. So your body is always replacing it, over and over again, without stopping. In fact, your stomach lining renews itself every few days. Your body is constantly repairing itself just to keep functioning normally. Fact 5. Your brain can't feel pain. Your brain processes everything you feel. Pain, temperature, touch. But here's the paradox. Your brain itself cannot feel pain. It has no pain receptors. It receives signals from the body and interprets them as pain. But on its own, it doesn't experience it. The very organ that creates the feeling of pain is completely incapable of feeling it itself. Fact 6. Your brain fills in what you don't see. You think you see the world exactly as it is. But your vision actually has gaps. There are blind spots in your field of view where no visual information is detected. Logically, you should see holes or black spots. But you don't, because your brain fills them in. It predicts what should be there and completes the image. So what you see feels complete and continuous. But part of it isn't really there. It's created by your brain in real time. You're not just seeing reality, you're constantly reconstructing it. Fact 7. You're constantly losing parts of yourself. It feels like your body stays the same, But in reality, it's constantly changing. Every minute, you lose thousands of skin cells. They drift away and become part of the dust around you. Over time, this adds up. A surprising amount of the dust in your home is actually made of your own skin cells. Even when you're sitting still, you're slowly shedding parts of yourself. At the same time, your body is creating new cells to replace them. You're constantly losing yourself and rebuilding yourself at the same time. Fact 8. Your body emits light. This might sound like science fiction, but it's real. Your body actually produces light. Inside your cells, thousands of chemical reactions are happening every second. These reactions release tiny amounts of energy, and part of that energy comes out in the form of light. The catch? This light is incredibly weak, so weak that your eyes can't see it. Even in complete darkness, you wouldn't notice anything unusual. But with special scientific equipment, researchers have been able to detect this faint glow. So technically, right now, your body is glowing. Not like a light bulb, but like a barely visible spark of life that never turns off. Fact 9. Your bones are stronger than you think. When you think about strength, bones probably aren't the first thing that comes to mind. But they're far more powerful than they look. Pound for pound, bone is actually stronger than steel. That means for its weight, your skeleton can handle incredible pressure. Your bones support your entire body, protect vital organs, and absorb impact every time you move, jump, or even just walk. But here's something even more interesting. Your body doesn't let you use your full strength. Your brain constantly limits how much force your muscles can produce. Why? Because if you used your absolute maximum strength, you could seriously damage your own bones and joints. In other words, you're physically stronger than you think, but your brain is holding you back to keep you safe. Fact 10. Your body runs without you. Right now, your heart is beating. Your lungs are breathing. Your blood is moving through thousands of kilometers of vessels. And you're not thinking about any of it. The most important systems in your body work automatically. They are controlled by your nervous system, not your conscious mind. You don't have to remind your heart to beat. You don't have to tell your lungs to breathe while you sleep. Your body takes care of all of it on its own. In fact, most of what keeps you alive is happening completely outside of your control. Your conscious mind, the part you think of as you, is only a small piece of a much larger, incredibly complex system. Your body doesn't wait for your permission. It just keeps going. The more you learn about your body, the more it stops feeling simple and starts feeling almost unbelievable. It quietly shapes your reality, protects you, and keeps you alive. All while hiding most of its work from you. You've lived in it your entire life. But there is still so much you don't see, don't feel, and don't understand. And maybe that's the strangest part of all. If this made you look at yourself a little differently, subscribe, because this is just the beginning of how strange reality really is.